Welcome once again to the News of the Squared. I'm Driving Ivan, and with me is Mike and Jeff. And how are you doing today?
Yeah, slightly frustrated, having to restart the show, but oh well. The show must go on, and that's what we're doing.
The show must go on.
Or the show must happen somehow.
It is happening right now. It's happening now, as we speak.
Is it now, or is it later now?
That's, now.
How now, bro?
But where's then? That was then. This is now.
When it was later. What?
News of the Squared, the videotape.
News of the Squared. News
crazy.
of the Squared on Betamax.
That's right.
Yes.
Spaceballs the flamethrower. Spaceballs the trampoline.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Baseball the trampoline.
We have
Mike's talking about the fact that I'm watching this. And we have on the News of the Squares page, we had this thing where it's car versus trampoline. Will it bounce? And I'm like, it's like, holy crap. I mean, seriously.
Wow.
I can't believe it. This thing
the things that people think of in other mental sensibilities. Hi, let's go ahead and do a lot of drugs and see if we can make a car bounce on a trampoline.
Yeah, some people had to be on drugs at that moment. Hey, man, let's make a car bounce on a trampoline. Okay.
I was just thinking of things that we have a trampoline. What can we bounce off of it? Well, how about...
but the problem is it's not a real trampoline. They made it out of Kevlar and shit to see if they could make it.
Yeah, and they used a ton of garage door springs
and all that kind of stuff. It's not like a real trampoline. I would like to see what happens with a real. Well, I think we all know what happens with a real trampoline.
Well, use a real trampoline. The possibility of the car going through the trampoline or
That's kind of what I wanted to see. I kind of wanted to see that. I kind of wanted to see the trampoline implode and once the car goes fly
down,
everywhere
and springs are flying every.
Video is there on the Square-Thron Table Facebook page. Check it out.
I kind of wanted to see that.
It's like some damn cartoon, man. How something falls through and then it goes through a hole and then everything kind of sucks itself down into it.
Right, that's exactly what I was.
Right, collapses on itself.
Yeah, like a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh shit.
Speaking of things that collapsed upon itself, hey Mike, I hear there's a moron in Oregon.
Yes, an Oregon man was on the mend after police say he accidentally shot himself in the groin while flaunting his concealed handgun at a Lincoln City supermarket. The mishap occurred last Sunday night when Nicholas J. Ellingford, age 29, brandished his Glock 9mm in the checkout line at McKay's Market and tried to show it off to a buddy, according to the Lincoln City Police Department.
Oh, God.
Ellingford mistakenly pulled the trigger as he stuffed the piece back into his pants, police said. See, that's his first thing, no holster.
That's stupid.
Here's the first thing.
In his pants.
Don't put it in your pants. Don't put it in your nads.
With the safety off, and it's pointed towards your junk.
Dude.
This is what separates the amateurs from the professionals.
That's not even the amateurs from the professionals. It's them.
Well, because get it where there are people that are responsible enough to know what to do with a fucking gun. Okay.
We're not even talking about a fucking gun. We're just talking about somebody who's a moron. Okay, seriously. Seriously. Let's put this where it really is. Yeah. Let's put this where it is. Let me ask any of the both of you. Okay. If you had a gun and you didn't have a holster and you knew the safety was off, where's the last place you would put it?
Not in my fucking pants.
No.
Not near my balls.
No.
Not in my fucking pants. But anywhere near.
He could have taken the magazine out. He could have put the safety on. He could have
put the safety on.
He just being a moron. He apparently the bullet tore through his groin and exited his thigh, just barely missing his femoral arteries, which means he could have bled out.
He could have bled out.
I shouldn't say that.
Not to
say should have bled out. Jeez.
But the gruesome wound required him to be airlifted to Legacy Emanuel Medical Center in Portland, said police, which added to that he did not have a concealed handgun license and could face criminal charges for his reckless behavior.
And you know the people at the hospital have to be laughing their ass off.
Yeah. Are you kidding? They're in the coffee room. Hey man, that guy will never have kids. Why? Because he just blew his balls off.
As far as we know, it didn't hit his junk, but
right.
Hopefully he learned his lesson, and maybe hopefully he won't go to jail for too long.
The irony is he's probably the most fertile super sperm motherfucker on the planet, and he'll like make a whole bunch of little idiots.
And he just filled out everything he had.
He'll just like procreate and make more people who shoot themselves in the junk. I don't know.
Seems like a story we tend to cover like every couple of months here on News of the Square. Does somebody shoots themselves somewhere in a
like
near a bad
usually
place.
It's Kentucky.
In their leg, in their fucking junk.
I think we got another one of those coming up. I'll stay tuned.
Do we really?
Yes, we do.
More people shooting themselves in the junk. News at 11.
Maybe not in the junk, but stay tuned.
Shooting Up the movie coming your way.
All right, so this isn't really news of the score. This isn't really real news, but I thought this was amusing. This was from the Chicago Genius Herald. Chicago invokes ancient alliance with the Cheese Castle, Bristol Ren Fair to secure the North Border. We need what's his name? Russell Crowe's character. I am my armies of the North.
That's right.
We need the gladiator. So anyway, Bristol, after weeks of COVID-19 positivity in Wisconsin and Chicago, health officials have updated the travel quarantine to prevent the spread of disease between the two states. And a press release hand inscribed on the vellum and delivered to the major Chicago news outlets late Tuesday, the Chicago Department of Public Health announced that the enforcement of the city will call upon its ancient allies, the Mars Cheese Castle and the Bristol's Renaissance Fair, to secure the border. How come whatchamacallit isn't here? Medieval Times. Shouldn't they be involved in this?
They're too far south. Medieval Times Dinner Tournament, that's down by Rolling Meadows.
Oh,
right,
so that's
right.
What are they securing? The western
They're,
border?
the west border, the western lands.
Border. Yeah, just
the Western Plains.
Just make sure not to ask for silverware, even though they have Pepsi.
Yeah, because you're eating the food with your hands. That's
the missives were delivered by the emancipated messenger pigeons, which they then probably ate because they were out of food. Including the description of the forces mustered at each fortress. Probably like half of like the women from Green Bay, because they're huge. There's a whole bunch of stuff written in weird English. I'm not going to read this.
Yeah, extra L's and F's in it. Yeah,
and all kinds of things that they're talking about pikes and halibuts and.
Oh my God! They really got into it, huh? Oh
yeah, yeah. And nowhere here do they talk about Aaron Rodgers. What the hell? Someone needs to defend the border. I would assume it would be Aaron Rodgers, but certainly not Mitch Trubinsky. Here at press time, Duchy of Schaumburg has also formally pledged their expert Medieval Times cavalry to the Alwaldi banner. There you go. See, the armies of the West arrive. Aha!
Mars Cheese Castle calls for aid. Light the signal.
Beyond the cheddar curtain. Right.
Would that be Cheddar Deep?
I got to get to Mars Cheese Castle, man. That place rocks.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from the Alliance on the land, I believe we moved to space, don't we, Mike?
Yeah. This one from BGR. Apparently, SpaceX is going to fire Tom Cruise into space.
About time.
Please,
thank you. Boy. They've only been doing that for the first two Mission Impossible movies.
If you dislike actor Tom Cruise, I've got some great news for you. If you love actor Tom Cruise, I also have some great news for you. Believe it or not, it's the same news. SpaceX has agreed to shoot Mr. Cruise into space.
Nice.
Hooray for everyone! If you're a Cruise hater, you'll be happy with you'll be happy that he won't be on planet Earth for a while. But you happen to be a fan, you'll be happy to hear that he's going into space with director Doug Liman, 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 and likely a co-star that they can scope out and perhaps even film the scenes for a new movie. Oh, it's like thing like they did with Apollo 13, where they put the plane up and then there's a plane that can go like really high and you can like have like a few minutes of weightlessness.
I think.
No, let's see. Let's figure out where this is. This is an actual SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. So yeah, Tom Cruise is legit going to outer space.
Tom Cruise. I mean,
isn't the guy that owns Virgin? He has a couple of planes, and if you got the money, you could actually go into space in one of his planes.
They're working on
suborbital, like hypersonic, like to travel around the world in like a half hour.
Yeah, we should ask Lance Bass. He knows all about that shit.
The entire thing is being considered a tourist mission for SpaceX. The company has been bullish on the idea of generating revenue from flying private and very wealthy people into space for whatever reasons they desire. But in this case, it's for the purposes of filmmaking.
Oh, come on. You mean we can't have the poor people fly? What could possibly...
Oh, no.
The two
they don't have any money.
Likely 3 passengers will be carried to the International Space Station aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. At the helm of the ship will be Michael Lopez Algeria, a true veteran of spaceflight and a man that holds a pair of records for spacewalks, and would seem to be the perfect guide for the actor, director, and whoever else comes along for the ride.
You know who's coming with? The guy from Oregon shot himself in the nuts. That's totally who's coming with.
I was gonna hope that maybe Oprah's couch can go with him.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah, like save that third seat for Oprah's couch.
Yeah.
Of course, once he's weightless, he can bounce once and then that's it. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. And
unless there's a trampoline.
Tom Cruise can stay in motion as far as I'm concerned.
In a trampoline out in space.
There's a Mission Impossible stunt I want to see. I want to see him drop Tom Cruise from space in a car on the trampoline.
Yes.
I want to see.
I'd pay to see that.
I want to see.
So as the Space Shuttle Almanac revealed on Twitter, the flight is expected to take place in October 2021. That means a few things, but most important to note is that there's a long time for those plans to change. This won't exactly be the first time that a SpaceX tourist flight was announced and then never took place, but the fact that the mission will include work on a movie would seem to give it a bit more weight. We'll just have to wait and see. So Tom Cruise, yes, put Tom Cruise in space and make sure he's not carrying a Glock 9mm in his pants.
And make sure that they don't go ahead and put him in a car and try to drop him into a trampoline from space.
Yeah, something like that.
Motherfucker.
I'd be curious. I'd be curious what movie. Well,
wouldn't that be? That's not Mission.
You know what they really need? They need to bring with a life-size Stormbreaker battle axe, because that is indeed what Hasbro has now created. Is a life-size Stormbreaker.
Yeah, this one announced. I think this was announced during the Pulse Con.
Yep.
Hasbro Pulse. Virtual convention over the weekend.
Is this like plastic or is this like
it's not made of metal from a dying star. No.
Oh, I thought maybe it'd be made of like Nerf, so you could really smack.
I thought maybe like fiber.
Let's see.
What's it made of?
Oh no, it's got to be plastic because it makes noise.
It has electronics in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was electronics.
So they have to make it lightweight. Yeah, very hard polyurethane.
Why does it need to make noise? Why does they just make it like a Nerf one so like you can smack the hell out of your friends and family with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Last year I almost went as like Fat Thor for Halloween. I got like the robe. I got the burgundy robe and I got the blue hoodie. And I got like, the green sweatpants to go with it. And I think I did buy a fake beard, but it wasn't long enough, wasn't braided, but I thought it'd be close enough, but I didn't have a Stormbreaker to go with it. But this one apparently is on pre-order on Hasbro Pulse's website. But it's a life-sized Avengers Endgame Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. Looks good.
You know what they need for? We need it for, so we can unite the armies of the North.
What's the 200? No, that's for the lightsaber. What's the price of this thing? Let's see.
I want to say in the area of $200 to $300.
No,
really?
It's looks cheap.
I mean, the Force of the high end lightsabers from Hasbro, those are like $250, but this is only, I presume it's probably like $100 range. That's usually what these Hasbro. That's it's 160. It's 160.
160. This doesn't look nice enough to be 160.
It's not 160.
What do you want it to do? Like fly to your hand when you?
No,
when you raise your hand and it come to you.
It just looks cheap.
No, it doesn't. Well, I don't know. But these are like painted prototypes or test samples. That's the thing, though, too. We learned about at PulseCon is that they don't make like prototypes anymore because it's all CAD models. They have like test shots, but the prototype stage.
You mean the guy from Underdog CAD?
Yeah, CAD model. No, not CAD from Simon Bar Sinister. No, I mean a computer assisted design or whatever that is, the acronym. But Stormbreaker sword. Give it to Tom Cruise when he goes to space.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I really want to do. I want a Stormbreaker, and then I want to do this. I figured out what I want to do. I want to be, and this is from Mad Out Alt on Facebook. I want to be the pirate from SpongeBob. Pull off my pants, have that, and look down and go, "Hey kids, y'all ready? Aye, Captain." Shouts.
Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain.
Who lives in my pineapple under the sea? Anyway, that's on the page. It's just kind of funny. What else we got? Oh, good lord. Giant rats! Holy shit,
you've been to Chicago.
Huge. No, it's not Chicago. Sewer worker finds giant rat inside Mexico City sewer system. This can't be real.
It's not real.
It cannot be real. That cannot be a real rat.
Well, the rats here in Chicago get as big as small cats.
Okay, so this was a Halloween prop that had been washed out of a warehouse by a storm, and the decoration somehow ended up in the Labyrinth Network sewer tunnels, where it sat undiscovered for years. This is even better.
It's like, didn't anyone ever hey, wait a minute, there's a giant rat missing. It got swept away in a storm.
A woman named Evelyn Lopez has since come forward to claim the rat, which she reportedly created from scratch for Halloween. She said it went missing years ago during a torrential downpour. No one could help her retrieve it.
Help me find my giant rat. No.
Yes.
Can I get my rat back? I made the rat. I want my rat back, please.
Yeah, just imagine what it smells like.
Ugh, funk.
You can have it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can take it, lady.
But I was like, I said the same thing when I saw the article. I'm like, holy shit, that can't be real. But
yeah.
Hey, it's 2020, so I'd be like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if it were.
Right. we have a reason for the giant Gundam now.
We're getting ready for the murder hornets, and they're like, oh my god, giant rat. But no, okay, so whew.
Quick, call the Gundam that's actually a transformer.
Yeah. Everything's getting big.
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist.
We lost that. I think we lost that in the last. I think we lost that on the last from when we didn't record, when we lost the recording about the fact that there are normal.
There are people who they see the giant Gundam and from Japan, and people are sending them to their nerd friends saying, "Hey, look, it's a transformer."
Whoa, it's so big.
Yeah. Which one's Optimus? Is it Optimus Prime?
No, it's RC.
Actually, it's an RX-78, which is like the most common Gundam design from the Federation, from the Gundam series.
Oh, I know the Gundam. That's the guy from Korea. Whoopum Gunga style.
No, not Psy. What happened to that dude? Is he still making music?
Probably. Does he need to make any more music?
I don't think he needs to. I think he's sitting on his riches now.
Yeah.
Well, you got like the guys that made the Macarena were like 2 60-year-old somethings and had this big, worldwide music smash.
Yeah, that was a flash in the pan for 1 year. What year was that? It was 2012. Was the
Is it really that long
Gundam style?
Gundam style.
He did a set with like MC Hammer where the two of them did like a mix mash on American Music Awards. But yeah, in fairness, I think he was like a legit South Korean pop star before all that happened. So maybe just a worldwide one hit.
Yeah,
wonder,
just
but
yeah.
not yeah, but
he's been established. Yeah,
one hit wonder, just like the Venga Boys, who let the dogs out. Just like like I mentioned before, the Macarena. You get your flukes.
Yeah.
That just catch on, and then you find out that they don't always age well.
Okay,
by the way, did I tell you guys that I found a metal version of WAP?
Of course, there's going to be all different versions. I'm surprised Al doesn't has. I don't know. That might be too lewd for Al.
He'll change it around to something else.
Yeah.
Give me that white ass prostitute. I don't know. Oh. Maybe not.
White ass prostitute.
All right, what next, Jeff?
Wow, yikes! I don't know about that.
Yeah.
This story was so important that both Mike and I posted it at the exact same time.
Great minds think alike.
So we posted it at the exact same time. So apparently, the Denver Broncos decided that they needed people to show up at their game. So against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they decided that those people would come from South Park.
Oh, I saw those pictures, man. I'm like, okay.
That apparently the entire town of South Park,
Colorado,
from Colorado, is there and took up seats in the stadium.
I saw the iHeart, a little bit of the iHeart Awards, and they actually had the people on stage singing to a screen of animated audience and actual piped-in audience response.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not uncommon though. That's happened in a lot of places.
Yeah, I'm like watch the ball games. They all have the piped-in crowd noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've all the cast of South Park, and they're all wearing masks too.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's spread the question about what else we'll see. Like, will the Baltimore Ravens use the cast of The Wire? Will the Always Sunny from Philadelphia people get show up at the Eagles games in terms of post-its? That kind of thing. I mean, we had the one story.
What happens to Green fucking Bay? What, like a bunch of people with cheesehead hats?
I'm sure.
I don't know how that's different than any other day.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay.
So, Jeff,
You know what? It's probably the guys from either Laverne and Shirley or the kids from that '70s show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your answer.
There it is. Okay. And they're all wearing cheese hats.
Yeah, probably. Although Ashton Kutcher's a Bears fan, so he probably don't want to do that.
He'll show up in his bear regala, and then people be throwing shit at him.
Yeah. So. All right. Do you want me? I know Mike is like, I don't want any part of this story.
I'll let you read this one.
Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away.
Okay.
I
found this.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
And now, another Dirty Birdie story from Jeff.
And now, this is from God.com, by the way.
This is daily.com.
Daily.com. Yeah. So, pastor comes out as bisexual, joins OnlyFans to live out stripper dreams.
Oh, my God.
It's not uncommon for people to quit the church, especially in a
know,
scenario where they've struggled to come to terms with their sexuality because their specific church refuses to affirm anything outside of heterosexuality. And many do so quietly all the time. Others leave with a bit more of a splash. Take Nicole Mitchell, for example. The 36-year-old former pastor ditched her mega church in Minnesota after coming out as bisexual and is now both making a living and a living out of her dream as a stripper on OnlyFans.com.
Wow.
Mitchell had previously served as a pastor at the Woodlands Hills Church in St. Paul, but told the New York Post that maintaining her position became tough after realizing she was bisexual in 2016. She said, quote, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this better. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I'm straight, and it rocked my world, and I knew if I revealed my queerness, I would, lose it all because the church is not welcoming to queer people, said Mitchell.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So she stopped going to church entirely, and later came out publicly on YouTube, and the YouTube thing is there. And then, so that's on here. And then Michelle told the New York Post that she had wanted to be a stripper since she was young, but her conservative upbringing led her down a different path.
Of course.
Because, when I'm thinking about being a stripper, the next train of direction that I think about is pastor. Absolutely.
No, that's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's hot.
And originally decided to become a pastor
she's smoking
because of her love of performing.
Likes and love.
Okay. Yeah, no, hey, she's pretty.
Yeah.
And the move toward OnlyFans happened after she left the church and began trying to explore her sexuality and her expression of it. I cried because I had never felt more holy and sacred in my life. What? She said after her first nude shoot. I never felt more sexy and liberated than I did then. Well, there's some truth to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, now she feels good.
So she has an Instagram where she shares photos alongside advice for others who are interested in figuring out the best way to express their own sexuality and encouraging everyone who wants to get paid to do so. Amen, sister.
Yeah.
All right.
So and her biggest quote is, trust yourself, listen to yourself, be yourself, the world will adjust. Amen!
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, indeed. I'm down for that.
I said,
that's good on her. But she's smoking. She's pretty hot.
Mike is smitten.
Yeah.
Do we need to get you an account?
I might have
to
get an OnlyFans account just to, hey.
You need a pillow, Mike.
I have to get my my trusty, not the Hasbro one, but I have to get my Stormbreaker out, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
you know what I mean there.
Just make sure that your clock is.
That's right. I'm not going to stuff
make sure your safety's on.
Stuff my Glock in my pants when I'm watching the former pastor. This next story here is from the Charlotte.
Praise be Jesus, that's for sure.
From the Charlotte Observer. Chaos and gunfire erupt at a haunted house near Charlotte amid multiple fights, according to cops. One person was wounded, 5 juveniles were arrested, and 3 guns were seized late Saturday night after widespread fighting erupted at a haunted house Halloween attraction in China Grove, North Carolina.
Boy.
Investigators say deputies were called to the Reaper's Realm haunted house at 8:25 p.m. Saturday to investigate a report of shots being fired. Deputies found a chaotic scene involving about 1,000 people, according to a press release. The operators of the haunted house say the fighting took place in one of their parking lots. And let's see, deputies had to deal with multiple large and small groups of persons that were fighting each other. There were some shots fired by persons at the event. Law enforcement units from multiple agencies, along with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol and Concord Police, were requested to perform to restore order. And officers eventually resorted to use of pepper spray on some of the persons who refused to cease fighting and disperse. One person who was from the Charlotte area did present himself at the Atrium Health Carolina's Medical Center for treatment of a gunshot wound to his foot.
Oh, boy.
The victim said he was initially unaware that he had suffered a gunshot wound until he had left the Reaper's realm, and that he must have suffered the wound as he was running away from the location where the shots were fired.
Brains.
The haunted house fight. Yeah, that Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors should be coming up soon. So
we did
fight at
skip a couple.
Fight at the haunted house! Yay!
We did skip a couple here, so I'll run through it because there's news of the sports.
Okay.
The first one is, yeah, the first one actually, and it's finally a Florida story.
Hey, Florida man! Yay!
Deputies responded to the home of a fan screaming "shoot" while watching the Stanley Cup final.
Oh no! Well, you never be careful these crazy times. Might be a guy, the 9mm in his pants.
So this is from Tampa, Florida. A Florida man and some of his friends were rooting for the Tampa Bay Lightning a little too loudly Wednesday night, prompting a visit from law enforcement. Deputies with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office arrived at the home of 26-year-old Devon Garnett after neighbors reported someone screaming "shoot." Quote, "I wanted Victor Hedman, to shoot the puck, so I screamed shoot, shoot," Garnett said. Deputies told the friends that they had received a call about a potential domestic dispute. "We were just trying to scream for Steven Stamkos," Garnett said. "Who would call the cops? Did they not know the Lightning were playing?" Well, no offense, it is hockey, and it's in Tampa. Probably not. Garnett said for future games he'll clarify and say "shoot the puck" to avoid any problems. Probably wise. That brings us to our second News of the Sports Squared story. And I how did we miss this one? Because this is just perfect. This is from our friends up in above the border. Woo! Man, and when I say above the border, I mean Wisconsin. Obviously, not part of the North Continent. Not part of the pact of defending the North, because this man broke into Miller Park and damages the field. Hold on a second. And damages the field with a hijacked tractor.
That'll show them cheeseheads.
Surveillance footage showed a man breaking into Miller Park, the home of the Milwaukee Brewers, and taking liberty of hopping on a tractor and using it to write his name on the field.
Oh my God!
And there is footage of this on the Squares of the Roundtable Facebook page in the article. The man
from 670 The Score out of radio.com.
Yeah, absolutely. The man Keon A. Lambert was charged with a felony as he's accused of criminal damage to property and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. I believe Lambert's annex created $40,000 worth of damage. It's not immediately clear how quickly the Brewers were able to rectify the situation and correct the damage done to Miller Park, which opened in 2001. Luckily, the incident occurred in June.
Oh, this was June.
When the right. Well, but even so.
Yeah, because of COVID.
When the MLB was on their COVID-induced respite. Here's a real question. How the hell did he get in the building if there was no baseball?
Well, the one guy earlier this year broke into Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I guess.
I think he stole a jersey or something. This guy wrote his name in the field, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
$40,000. Whoa, jeez.
Maybe he met up with the guy who had the Glock down his pants and tried to shoot off the lock instead of shoot off his balls.
Maybe he was trying to impress the girl, the stripper chick that Mike's so hot for.
The preacher woman.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that Aladdin,
preacher man.
All I know is Aladdin taught me that good things happen to those who rub one out, and that's on our page too.
Well, okay there, Aladdin.
Just like the picture of that we were talking about off air about the record player where they put the post in the wrong spot, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, they made a T-shirt of a record player, but
Oh, you mean the one with the turntable?
Yeah.
And the turntables have a standard have a standard setup where certain things are put in certain places. Well, it just so happens that when you get a look at the T-shirt, when you wear it, the target light is going to show up where your penis would be if you're a man wearing the shirt.
Straight up at a standing at attention.
Standing at attention.
You can also see things like, for example, Ric Flair water skiing and then getting diamond cuttered by DDP. That's available.
As he doing tricks and water skiing tricks. That's crazy.
Yeah, yelling woo the whole way. Or we can talk about the fact that apparently Mountain Dew is making a hot sauce.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So,
why not? I guess.
Mountain Dew is making a hot sauce. I mean, I used to be a fan of Mountain Dew when I was a kid. I'm not anymore, but I can't imagine doing a hot sauce. I mean, there's millions of other hot sauces out there in the world. There's
a place to deal with Red Lobster.
Yeah, here's the interesting part. Apparently, they have a deal with Red Lobster to do something called a Dew-garita. Now that's interesting. I might want to try that.
Mountain Dew margarita. How about that?
Oh my god!
Dew-garita.
I might try that. That I might want to try. That I might want to try.
But Mountain Dew is partnered with NBA All-Star Joel Embiid.
Embiid, yeah.
Embiid. And hot sauce retailer iBurn to develop a limited edition Mountain Dew hot sauce.
Well, I wonder if that's going to end up in there's a shop in Goleta. I don't know if it's still there, but there's a shop in Goleta that's all it sells is sauces. And, under different names like, can of whoop ass, skid mark. Let's see.
Skid mark.
No, these are.
Well, I don't know about that, but they're letting fans vote to. By the time this airs, it'll be over. But they're letting fans vote. They're letting fans vote on how hot of a hot sauce this needs to be. So we'll see what that turns into, and then apparently it'll be a limited edition thing.
Well, will it be green like Mountain Dew?
I don't know.
It'll be, but if it's green, then it's going to be not that hot. I mean, because green sauce is not that hot, in its reality.
I'm just curious if it'll be like, not only will it be ridiculously hot, it'll be like jacked up with caffeine. So now you're like,
you're hot, and you're jumping around.
As you're jumping out of a trampoline in a car.
Yeah, something like that. On a final note, this from Gilbert Gottfried. We get good news from Gilbert. He says he's very excited. He was asked to be the voice of a farting cricket. He thinks this job will be a gas.
I see what he did there.
Maybe
he'll be in that movie with Tom Cruise in space as a farting cricket.
Look at me, I'm molting.
Yeah, really. So I think that's it. I think that's all we got this week.
Yes, we're like Aladdin. We rubbed one out.
Yeah,
sure. Certainly did. And not have to put on our pants.
Like a water skiing Ric Flair, we'll be out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But first, we'll give them the bang. How do they bang us? How do they talk to us?
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bells and you subscribe. You know when new content arrives. And we're on the Facebooks, the Good Book of Face, where Ivan will not be DJing. If you want to listen to Ivan's DJing, he's on Twitch at Java and Ivan on twitch.tv or download the app. And, of course, you can see all these crazy stories from our Squares Roundtable Facebook page. Give us a like and subscribe. We appreciate it, of course. And you can listen to this show on the usual podcast hosting platforms, i.e. Google, Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. And you can email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us here at the News of the Squared. It's been a gas. And just remember, tonight, go ahead and remember to put the safety on your pistol before you go ahead and stick it down your pants. And don't be traveling around with a T-shirt where the target light is where your penis would be. And, of course, let's see if somebody will go up with Tom Cruise up into space. That ought to be interesting. Maybe they should drop Tom Cruise from space down onto a trampoline.
Yeah, that's how he's going to get home. He can bounce. No, just put... Wherever the capsule's going to land, just put Oprah's couch there.
Exactly.
Maybe the whole.
So we're going to be like a car on a trampoline and bounce the hell out of here this week.
That's all, folks.
Yep.
Take care.